What is Web3 and what is the purpose of it? Web3 really isn't actually a specific thing. A lot of people will try to ascribe a particular meaning to it, but what makes it powerful is it's just a binding name, and that there is a great collective movement of people trying to reinvent the way that people are interfacing online, and it is certainly connected to things like DAOs and, cryptography. And I think a lot of people have their own perceptions exactly about what it is. And if you were to scan, the internet for the tag Web3, you could certainly find a set of things that it is specifically associated with. But the general idea is that it seeks to transform the way that we as people interface through the internet. I would classify Web3 in the same way that I think about Game B, and that it's a meme to unify a broad collection of work that seeks to reinvent how we interface with each other through the internet. And this coming from a place where we understand that the last successive pass of advancing, social technology through social networks didn't exactly play out that well. Right? So we're not just building upon, we're actually actively having to fix some things that didn't go well. And, a lot of people don't quite exactly understand, why it broke in the first place. And so that's a pretty massive challenge. I personally think that Web3 is very connected to Game B and systems change in general. I think it's very connected to solar punk. I think it's very connected to the regenerative agriculture movement and just the regenerative movement in general, which includes the regeneration of communities and how we interface with each other. Certainly Web3 implies some connection to technology. Society sort of evolves in successive patterns of heating and cooling, where there's sort of a crystallization over time and then a breaking down of that crystallization. The future is being annealed. And so the internet itself has gone through successive passes through the years that we have given names, where in each pass we've taken the sort of innovation that has collectively come, and we've worked to reinvent the entire system as well as we can based off of the failings of the previous. We also tend to build upon the systems that were already there. So that's what Web3 is. So when I say the future is being annealed, what I mean is that our current perception of certainty about the state of systems is dissolving. We're going from a state where things are crystal and understood to be a certain way, and these networks behave a certain way, to we have less certainty about how those things are going to behave, and so we are actively designing the future by ideating together. So when I say the future is being annealed, what I'm saying is that it is in a liquid state of flux, and we are seeking collectively to recrystallize it into new forms that are more useful and helpful to us. Finally, a question might be, is cognizism Web3? Cognizism has been around as an idea since 2014, and so that pre-exists Web3, and there will probably be a Web4 or some other system. So cognizism is whatever successive passive ideation it takes root in. It's a collective of ideas about how we can reinvent our systems at scale so that we're better able to integrate information with each other and hear each other better, and collectively integrate information about the future better, and find healthier metrics of social direction and coordinate and collaborate better. So it certainly is within the same latent space as Web3 right now, but it also existed before, and it will exist into the future whether or not the term Web3 exists.